I have been denied entry into police stations. I have been dragged out of police stations.
Beat up people, jail innocent people. Once they're in custody, deny them basic rights like access to food, access to water.
This is the house of hunger, a house where people have suffered in silence for far too long.
Nyaya ndingati tsaona yakanyanya ndeyekugara mumacells because macells emuZimbabwe hamuna kumira zvakanaka munjere zveshuwa zvokuti patakagara mumacells tanga tisina mablankets plus tanga tisingagezi plus taisingawani chikafu mvura yekunwa chaiyo tanga tisingaiwani zvokuti taitozoti kana mumwe avigikwawo mvura nemarelatives ake.
I was told that ZANU-PF was looking for me. I really got scared in my life.
You know, as a lawyer or as an activist, you are targeted, you are arrested, you are followed through as you drive in town or wherever you stay. You know, even your family is not safe or secure.
I think I've been arrested over 32 times.
I've been arrested 29 times. I just spent 5 weeks in Chikoropi. I've been broken into my house by the police. I've been arrested while doing shopping in town. Basically, most of the times, even when we are not doing peaceful protests, which is a constitutional right to do peaceful protests, but I've been arrested for doing those, and even for being me. It's very difficult being a human rights defender in Zimbabwe.
Zimbabwe, a place of infinite riches and powerful natural resources. Once a tourist haven and known as the breadbasket of Africa, the nation is today wrecked by repression and economic collapse. Torture and murder have been used by the state to silence dissenting voices. Yet Zimbabwe is also home to men and women who fight bravely every day to secure the rights and freedoms of their country. These lawyers, community activists, business people, students and workers have dedicated their lives to ensuring that for their people, tomorrow is a better day. These are their stories. Most of the clients of prominent lawyer Beatrice Mteto are members of the opposition or victims of state repression. As a result of her work defending their rights, she has herself been repeatedly attacked.
I think if you're practicing law in Zimbabwe, particularly human rights law, you'll have your rights violated all the time by virtually a whole lot of people. We had a march. We had given all the necessary notices, and when we congregated at the High Court, we were told to disperse, which we duly did, but the police nevertheless followed us, grabbed 4 of us and took us to an open field out of town and just literally beat the hell out of us. You know, there was no attempt to say we had violated the law. We were not taken to a police station. We were just taken to out there and just beaten up, and anything could have happened. If somebody who belongs to the opposition gets arrested, they're entitled to a lawyer. And I'm that lawyer. Why is it wrong to represent someone who belongs to the opposition and not wrong to represent somebody who belongs to ZANU-PF? So what keeps me going is the belief that I am truly doing what I took an oath to do. When I got admitted as a lawyer, I took an oath and said I will abide by the laws of the country and provisions of the Constitution. And what I'm doing is exactly that. And I find it extremely offensive that people should think that it is a political calling, because it isn't. Whether the MDC ever comes into power or not, if they do what ZANU-PF is doing, I will still be doing exactly the same kind of work.
Dr. Lovemore Maduku is the chairperson of the National Constitution Assembly, an organization that since 1999 has lobbied for a new constitution for Zimbabwe.
For example, I have been beaten by police. I've been arrested and then beaten while in custody. It was on 11 March 2007 when we were beaten in Highfield in police cells at Machipisa police station. We had these guys coming direct to me and saying that, look, You have been creating problems all this time. Today that should be the end of you. We definitely are going to kill you. What was very scaring about it was that I recognized the face from the people who had abducted me in 2004. So the same young person, same police or army officer, I don't know what he was, but exactly the kind of image I had in my mind after February 2004. When I was dumped along the road to Zarasekwa, when they believed that I was dead, I think, because they had beaten me so badly that they thought I was dying or almost dead. When the blows were then coming, I then believed that clearly they were going to kill. What we are doing is right, and that we know that in other societies, the freedom that has been enjoyed there has come because some people believed they were doing the right thing and they kept on doing it until they succeeded in what they were doing. We believe we're doing the right thing, and if we have to die for the right thing, there's nothing that we can do about it.
After co-founding Women of Zimbabwe Arise, WOZA, Jenny Williams left her business and became a full-time activist.
The suffering caused by the governance crisis in Zimbabwe is on a woman's shoulders more than it is on a man's shoulders. Mostly men can easily find a way to jump the border, but a mother has to stay with the children, has to find a way to feed the children, educate their children. So we said we wanted a name that will capture women and what we wanted women to do. We wanted them to arise, to take the lead in speaking out about their plight and the plight of their families. And so that's how we came up with this word, Women of Zimbabwe Arise.
WOZA, a group of mothers, grandmothers and young women who have confronted the Zimbabwean government since 2003, has become a household name in grassroots activism in Zimbabwe. Jenny, along with other WOZA members, has been repeatedly arrested, detained and beaten.
When the people's voice is suppressed, when the will of the people is ignored.
I was arrested on the 14th of February, Valentine's Day in 2003. It was quite something for me to be arrested, and my crime was apparently handing out a red rose and saying, Zimbabweans, it's time to learn to love again. It was made worse by the fact that my 18-year-old son was across the road from me, and my friend had given him a camera to hold. And when we started our demonstration, he was arrested. And so having to undergo my own arrest and then seeing that my child has now been caught in this crossfire. But since that time, I think I've been arrested over 32 times. I'm very proud, and my mother is also very proud, that I've been arrested twice for praying in public. A time I was arrested with a number of colleagues in a peaceful demonstration. They ended up taking me to Fig Tree Police Station, where the police officers there said, why have you been arrested? And we said, we were banging our pots saying, there's no mealie meal, there's hunger in Zimbabwe. And the police said, but you have done the right thing. And they said, you have no food, can we get some food for you from our houses? So, whenever there's a human rights abuse, quite often you'll find it will help you to meet people who will be touched by what you're doing.
It's the desire to see, every other person living a life with dignity. I think that drives me most. It's the one that gives me the inspiration to wake up every day and go to the office.
When riot police shot and killed a student during a university protest, Otto responded by calling for a boycott. A 6-month suspension from the university only fueled his activism.
It all started, I think, when I was at university. In my second year, got expelled from the University of Zimbabwe. I had to get a high court order to finish my law degree. So during that process, that's when I felt that there was need, I think, to use my skills as a lawyer in furthering the observance of human rights in the country. First incident which I attended to when I was just started working with the Lawyers for Human Rights was of this student. He was beaten, tortured in my presence while I was watching. I couldn't do anything as a lawyer. I tried to even restrain the police officers. I was pushed aside. He was beaten